This is the Composimold, or Composimold.
Composimold?
Two different ones. They're both heated, as they say, in the directions that are on the lid. Real easy. You stir every minute for this one, for that one every 30 seconds. You mix it up, and then you just, what I did was I hot glued the cookie cutters down to the bottom of this, and I sprayed it with some cooking spray, and then I just pour the stuff in, just like you would do if you were making a silicone mold. And you want to make sure that the items are covered pretty in a nice, I don't know, thick layer over the back side of them, because you don't want them to be too thin that you cannot, that it breaks when you go to try to take it out. And then here's a smaller bottle of it that I have that I'm just adding to it. And then you check for bubbles. Kaylee, can you see that?
Sure.
Over here. Let me turn on the light.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, you check for bubbles. And because there's a lot of detail in these molds, you want to make sure that there's no bubbles on the cookie cutter itself or on the object, in any grooves or any small details that the item may have. It doesn't matter if there's bubbles on top, just so long as there's not bubbles down in the mold. And so I kind of go over the edges inside the mold just to make, with a little needle, just to make sure if there's any hidden bubbles, they kind of they'll rise to the top. The stuff it's melted so thin that the bubbles usually rise. But I've had this sitting out for a little while after I melted it, so they're not wanting to rise very fast, but they are coming off the mold itself, or what's going to be the mold. And if you end up with bubbles in your mold, you can just remelt this stuff and do it all over again. This stuff's like awesome, because you can just reuse it and reuse it and reuse it. I'm sure you guys have seen it, but thought I'd go over it anyhow. And then if it gets dirty, if the stuff gets dirty, you just run it through a filter, like I did, and you just pour it back in the bottle, and you get all this gunk out.
Yeah, what is that?
And that's the gunk that was in the dirt, the resin and glitter
that was in what?
Inside this stuff, because I used it before.
It's nasty.
Alright. Now I'm going to pop this into the freezer and let it cool. It'll take, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes maybe. And then make sure you put it on a flat surface, because you want your mold, when you take it out, to be as flat as possible so you can pour into it. But if it's uneven, what's going to be your bottom of your mold is going to be lopsided, and so is your resin pieces. So you want to be a little bit careful, and then make sure when you sit it in the fridge it's level. Okay, that's it.